I'm not here to teach you what to think. I'm here to teach you how to think. What we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be going through the 10 stages of development. Now, I have detailed the 10 stages of development in my book very, very thoroughly. So I'd like everybody to go to chapter 4. In this book, it's page 224, 224. Now, those of you at home, page 224. Open your book. Get to that page. So page 224. Chapter 4, the 10 stages of development, from a loser with bad instincts to a seducer with good instincts to a natural with great intuition. You want to know what the difference is between all of you and a natural? Or I should say a master seducer? Different instincts. That's it. It's not because the natural is better looking than you. Some of them might be. I know a lot who aren't. It's not because the natural necessarily has more money than you. It's not any one of those things, although those things will help. The real difference between a man who's a natural with women and a man who struggles is that he simply has different instincts. Remember the seduction persona exercise that we were doing, right? A girl approaches you and asks you out. What you're learning to do to change your behaviors, a natural already has the instinct of knowing what the right behavior is. This is why, in my method of teaching, I focus with your behaviors. Modify the behavior, the belief comes afterwards. I don't believe just changing a belief and that's it. It didn't work for me. That's why I don't believe in it. I went through the behaviors changed the belief. Once I had the belief, and I did it a number of times, it turned into an instinct. Everything you're doing, no matter what material you're studying, when it's regarding getting better with women, what you're doing is you are training your brain so that you develop the right instincts. Eventually, you won't be thinking about it anymore while you're doing it. It'll be automatic because you've just programmed your instincts. For those of you who are into psychology, I know the terminology I'm using is not academically correct. I don't care. When I assign a particular word to have a certain meaning in my books, it's just so I can clarify my own thought. I clarify it because that's the way it worked for me. When I've shown these books to friends of mine that are study psychology and that, I get it, okay? I know that the terminology isn't necessarily the accurate dictionary definition. I don't care. I do what works. So when I use the word instinct, I am talking about my interpretation of instinct that you can find inside the book. If you want to use a different term for it, go ahead. As long as we can communicate the same ideas. So the next time you see a guy who's a natural with a woman, and you're wondering, what does that guy got that I don't got? He's got the right instincts. He knows how to behave with a woman that gets him the result he wants. What you have to do to learn it, he's got the instincts already programmed. Give yourself 3 years, and in 3 years, you'll have those programmed instincts, assuming you put in the work. Not just flip through the book, not just listen to this CD, put in the friggin' work. All right. I'm not going to go into any great detail here because the information's already in the book. But I want to bring up a couple of points to this way. If you have any questions, we can start a discussion on it. In my own philosophy, I use the idea of wanting to become a seducer. I'm not expecting anybody to want to become a seducer. That's the term I used because I liked it. It meant something to me. So if you don't like the term seducer, pick something else. Whatever term you want to use, you're still going to go through these stages of development. We got our 10 categories. Why did I set up to have 10? Just because I like the number 10. And it worked for this setup. At the very bottom, category number 1, the dead man. Homage to all the guys whose love lives were so crap they killed themselves. Homage to all the guys who died of a broken heart. It is so easy for men who have not been taught about their masculine identity to fall victim, that their love life becomes so important to them and they become so needy for it that it destroys them. That's why it's a legitimate category here. Anytime you are on this path, you have to know that one bad traumatic event, if you're not ready for it, you could end up the dead man. So I always start with the dead man. The dead man feels no pain, but the dead man feels no joy. He feels no love. He feels nothing. If you are contemplating suicide, and if you're in this room, I want you to listen to me very fucking carefully. If you are contemplating suicide, I want you to seek professional therapy. The study of seduction, love, and relationships is not a cure for that. So if you are thinking about suicide, man, I hate my life, I want to off myself, I've been there. Those of you who have read my autobiography know that I've been there. The study of seduction alone will not pull you out of that if there are deeper issues for the reasons you want to off yourself. I don't want to see any of you die. I want you all alive. Because as long as you're alive, I can make a living off this. Now, for those of you at home, I want you to listen to those comments very carefully, okay? I want you to be alive too. Partly because I'm going to be making a living off you, I hope. But also because there's no reason to go down that path. There is hope. But like you saw in the last exercise of building the seduction persona, it just takes work. There is a light at the end of this tunnel, guys. I've been at the worst end of this. I went from no sex for 5 years to having 5 girlfriends at the same time.